Right, so installing the HRI PC driver. A driver basically tells the computer how to interact with a bit of hardware. It's that simple. So it is a small program. So I've done the software install first, and then the driver. You could do the driver first, the
So at this
software. It's
point,
not
we've
we've not
not connected
connected anything
anything.
to the computer. We've just installed the software. Right, now if you got the executable file to load, the one here, then you would have got a pop-up window that looks something like this, and it basically says there's four buttons, and one of those is closed. So HRI device driver setup and Wire6 software setup. Um, go ahead and click that. It then asks you, are you sure? Yeah, you want to install it. And that is pretty much that. It is that simple. Now, if you can't get that um, install exa to load, as I can't, all is not lost because in the same folder we were working in yesterday, the driver is here as well. So what we want is the HRICOM class.inf, and the actual driver is the cat file there. But on this file here, we're going to right click and click install. Um, and that it's just going to run a script that will then install that driver. So, are you sure? Yeah. See, and then it's come up with Yaesu Munson Limited Comport driver. So, always trust if you want to from Yaesu. That means it shouldn't ask you so much in the future about stuff from them. And then click install. It will take all of a second on pretty much any computer. Now I've already installed this, so I'm not going to run that again. I'm going to say don't install, and it's just going to object. So if you've not already done so, and it was at the very top of this page, and you haven't yet registered with Yaesu, you're not going to get much further at this point. You do have to register with them, and it can take 24, 48 hours for them to add your HRI 200 to the system, which is why it was at the very top of the page. So if you've not done it, not end of the world, there is a link on the website. It just says don't forget to register with Yaesu. Click that and you'll get this page. It'll ask for your email address, and it will say the new ID has been sent to your email address. So once we got our email through, it's going to give me a link to the Yaesu registration form, and then a little bit of information about Yaesu help support in your area, etc. So we're just going to click that link, and it's going to take us over to the mandatory user license agreement. Have a little read if you wish. Click agree, agree and proceed. Right, the registration form is fairly straightforward. The first thing it's going to want is a member ID. It says here, if the ID is already in use, then you can't have it, but you can enter an ID here and away you go. Um, I You don't have to enter your call sign. This relates later on to user ID when you log in. That's all it is your username. And then enter a password. Try and make your password a little complicated. Your call sign, your HRI 200 serial number. And as it says here, the serial number is located on the bottom of the HRI 200 example. And there is a sticker on the bottom that will show you, will tell you the HRI serial number. So once you've entered that there is now the option to do the portable digital node, which is where you turn the radio into a HRI 200 and you can transmit through that radio, but we're not covering that in this video. but you could proceed with that there. It then wants your details. The location, if you're running a repeater, then it's going to differ from where your home address is. So that's the reason for that. Are you an individual or a club? Is the node going to be public or private? If you're just going to use it for yourself and you know you don't want other people connecting, then go with private. And then you can change this later on. But yeah, go with that option. So that is the member registration form. Now I'm not going to fill that out because I'm already a member. So once that's all completed and you're up and running, now bear in mind we've not turned the computer on, we've not plugged the radio in at this point. But if you go to the node owners page, then there is pretty much everything you want to get in one place there, which is why you do this first, because then it will give you the information of how to install the software, a link to the software, the remote monitoring software. That's if you want to check it from another computer, etc. We then go on to the DR2X and XE. That is a repeater. If you've not seen those, and that's for repeater owners. The wires exportable diginode instructions, and an overall guide to setting up a computer. Setting up ports, there is a video on the website for that. Um, it's quite straightforward, but if you're unsure, you know, ask for help. If you know someone that's reasonably good at computers, then by all means ask for their help. Then we go into connecting your HRI 200 to your radio. And the connection video, in this video I connected it to an FTM 100. However, you'll see here on the back of, if I enlarge that a little bit, on the back of the FTM 400 is virtually identical, so it's really straightforward for any radio you choose to connect it to. So connecting the HRI 200 is quite simple. There is only 4 holes on the back of it. So one is for a monitor, which is a small one to the left. Then we've got radio 1 and radio 2, and a USB for the computer. So these leads only go in one way, so don't force it. If it doesn't go in easily, then you've got it run the wrong way. There is a flat bit on one side, so worth noting where that is. Once that end's plugged in, we can plug in the PC lead. And then I'm demoing this on an FTM 100, but it is the same for most radios. Just plug the lead in and away you go. Right, to turn the FTM 400 into Wires X mode, we need to push the D key, the GM key, and the power button. This isn't actually connected to a live HRR 200 yet, so it will just sit in this mode until we are connected.